Oahu, called a tropical paradise for a reason. Turquoise blue waters, dramatic volcanic mountains, and too many palm trees to count. The place of the Aloha spirit, endless snorkeling, hiking, and poke. We live here and are experiencing Oahu every day. In this guide, we tell you what you need to know before planning your trip to Oahu. We'll talk about where to stay, how to get around the island while avoiding this, and more. Stick around till the end, where we will talk about the Hawaiian people and culture. This video is not about the best things to do. We already made a video specifically about that, but it is rather about what you need to know to make the most out of your trip. Oahu is snuggled into an island chain in the middle of the Pacific. All islands have their own nickname, and Oahu is known as the gathering place, probably because there's a million people here. The only way to get there is by airplane, and you'll land on Honolulu National Airport. So once you're here, how do you get around? Let's talk about car rentals. You'll find the bigger car rental companies on Oahu, but it will most likely not be cheap. But in our opinion, definitely worth the expense. An alternative might be Turo, where people rent out their personal cars, which could have cheaper daily rates. If you plan on only staying in the resort areas, such as Waikiki or Ko'olina, then you could get away with just walking from place to place. There are taxis, Lyfts, and Ubers on Oahu, but in our personal experience, nearly not as many as on the mainland. There were times where we found ourselves on one side of the island with 0 Uber and Lyft drivers. If you want to maximize your stay and really see Oahu, we do recommend getting a car. But the public transportation is pretty good on Oahu compared to the other islands. The bus fares are fairly cheap and they run to most parts. Check out their website for more information. And Oahu is also small, so there are only 3 main highways and the remaining roads are mostly 1 or 2 lane roads. So you can expect some traffic around the island. And the horrible traffic you've heard about on Oahu usually goes towards Honolulu during morning rush hour and away from Honolulu in the afternoon evening time. Make sure to drive the H3 since that has the epic view of the mountains. And one quick note, drive with Aloha. You will notice that the driving style is not as aggressive, and people will often throw you the shaka or wave at you. So now that we've figured out transportation, where do we stay? Most hotel options are in these 3 resort areas, with the most hotels being in Waikiki. Then you have the Ko'olina resorts, which have fewer but also luxurious options. Think Disney. And last, the Turtle Bay Resort in North Shore. Think about paying the resort fees though, and the parking fees. Then you also have Airbnb and Vrbo. These options are not necessarily cheaper than hotels, but you can stay in different parts of the island and feel more secluded. There was a bill passed in 2019 that limits short-term vacation rentals. This means that it might be difficult to find a short-term rental because they typically have a minimum of 30 days, and that can be expensive. This does not apply to resort districts, which we mentioned earlier, Waikiki, Ko'olina, and Turtle Bay area. So if you ask our opinion, we would try to find an Airbnb in a resort area or just go for a hotel. So when is the best time to visit? It's good to know that the winter months are the rainy months on Oahu. If you're all about surfing, the winter months are the way to go. There's high surf around many North and West Shore beaches, and whale season lasts from December until early May. But we like the spring months and early fall months. There's less crowds, it's not extremely hot yet, but still warm, and there are no heavy rains. Looking at the map, you can see that the windward side of the island does get the most rain. So now that we got that figured out, where do we go from here? In our opinion, to get the most out of your stay, you need to know the island. So let's start at the main hub for tourism and the birthplace of surfing. We all know it, it's Waikiki. The place on the island with the most hotels and restaurants, and no parking. You could say that Waikiki is one of the busiest spots on Oahu, where most people stay while on their trip. This is also where you'll find the iconic Diamond Head, a crater where you can hike to the top. In Waikiki, you will find pretty beaches, high-end clothing stores, and plenty of beginner surfers. Waikiki is crowded and caters to tourism. It's fun to be here for a little while, but it is not Oahu. We highly recommend that you get out of Waikiki during the day to explore other parts of the island, because that's where you'll experience the adventure. We'll give you some tips on where to go throughout this video. Let's look at Honolulu, the city of the island, where you'll find the high skyscrapers and the business district. Also, it's packed with culture. Hawaii is a mix of many different groups. You'll find Korean influences, Japanese, Filipino, Chinese, and many more. Explore the different neighborhoods such as Chinatown and Kaka'ako, our favorite neighborhood here, for an artsy and creative vibe. Now let's look at the east side of Honolulu. The main neighborhood to explore here is Hawaii Kai. You'll find eateries, golf courses, and extraordinary gems of the island. Follow the most scenic and beautiful shoreline on all of Oahu, where you can stop along the way and see true gems. We are talking about Koko Crater, Hanauma Bay, and Makapu'u. You will be driving in between large cliff walls with the deep blue ocean right next to you. I mean, look at that view. You might as well add the scenic road to your bucket list right now. And at the end of this road, you will find yourself on the windward side of the island. Known for its turquoise blue waters and the majestic Ko'olau Mountains that will leave you speechless. No matter what road you take to the windward side, you will be guaranteed with jaw-dropping views. This side of the island gets the most rainfall in the year, which makes the mountain even more beautiful. Pockets of cloud hide in between the mountain, and all the rain makes this the perfect place to do all of your jungle and waterfall hikes. The windward side also has several small adventures out in the ocean that you can explore by kayak or boat, like the Mokalua Islands, hiking up Chinaman's Hat, or just visit the sandbar in the bay. We suggest to visit Waimanalo for the local vibes, Kailua if you want boutique, Kaneohe for the bay and mountain views. Keep going north on Kamehameha Highway to find the windward countryside, and soon you will find yourself in North Shore, the home of the big wave surfers and shrimp trucks. If you find yourself here during the winter time, the waves will get pretty insane. Things to do here are snorkeling at Sharks Cove, going to the many beaches, and checking out the 7-Mile Miracle, a 7-mile stretch of sand beaches with the most epic surf spots. Don't forget to eat at the many shrimp trucks. A town to visit here is Haleiwa, which looks like a cute small beach town. Moving down to central Oahu, where the farms and plantations are, you will notice a change in landscape. The majestic green Jurassic Mountains are out of sight and replaced with rolling hills. You can visit the Waialua Chocolate Farm, coffee farms, the Dole Plantation, and of course the infamous Pearl Harbor Museum. And then last but not least, the west side, aka the leeward side. There's one way in and one way out. You could say that if you drive far enough into the west side, that you will reach the corner of the island. You'll be introduced to the second mountain range in Oahu, the Waianae Mountain Range. You will find wide-stretched sandy beaches and deep dark blue oceans, as opposed to the turquoise blue waters on the windward side. And if you want to escape the crowds, check out these quiet beaches. You might need to drive a bit longer, but you do get your privacy. You will mostly visit the west side for its beaches and hikes, and at the end of the road is a worthy adventure on any day. Kaena Point, a gorgeous shoreline hike, and yes, there are plenty of sunset views on the west side. This is Oahu in a nutshell. Now let's talk about culture and most importantly, food. There is so much to eat, so we're going to give you some ideas on what specific foods to try. Kalua pork. Pork that's traditionally cooked in an underground oven. You cannot go wrong with Kono's, a restaurant proudly serving pork. And try out a dish called lau lau, which you will find at local restaurants such as Helena's Hawaiian Food or the Waiahole Poi Factory. Next dish to try is hapia, a coconut dessert. Don't forget about poke, it's delicious, fresh and raw fish. You can get poke all over the island, but you cannot go wrong with Foodland. You will also notice that shave ice cannot be missed. It goes all the way back to Hawaii's plantation past, where Japanese immigrants used to shave flakes off of blocks of ice and drizzled it with fruit juice. Then you have Malasada's delicious Portuguese donuts. And check out the 7-Elevens here and try out a Spam musubi. This is just a small list of all the foods that you can try. Check out our food tour in Hawaii video to get some more ideas on what and where to eat. Then there are some things to know, things that we have experienced here while living on Oahu. People on the island dress casual. Think loose shirts, shorts, and slippers. It's not even crazy if you just walk in your bikini all day. And then learn some Hawaiian words. And start with these: aloha, mahalo, wahine, kane, ohana, mauka, makai, and honu. Then we would also recommend to not leave any belongings inside in your car. We've seen too many crushed windows. And then all the gorgeous animals you'll see on Oahu: monk seals, sea turtles, dolphins, birds. Keep a safe distance. You do not want to disturb the animals. And then last, you will see homeless people around the island and soon notice that it is a problem here on Oahu. You will encounter homelessness all over the island. You could say that it's a symptom of many larger problems. Let's talk about the culture of Hawaii and the Hawaiian people, a topic that's not talked about enough in most videos about Hawaii, but yet so important, because when you're here, you feel it and you see it. Over the past years, there has been a revival of Hawaiian culture. The language, the traditions, they were almost completely lost. There was a Hawaiian Renaissance in the 1970s that brought life back into the Hawaiian culture. You can see that today, Hawaiians are very proud and happy to tell you about their culture. Connection is key for Hawaiians. Some important things are malama aina, to care for the land. And then there's an ancestral connection, respecting their kupuna. A way to respect ancestors is to practice traditions. The Hawaiian people are descendants from navigators and explorers. A sensitive topic in Hawaii is the overthrow of the monarchy in 1893. Today you can still feel the hurt when you talk to people here on Oahu. Keep an open mind and do more listening than talking. Live the aloha, which means to love. Show love to each other. If we sparked your interest, check out the Bishop Museum for more history and culture. This is Oahu in a nutshell and what we think you need to know to get the most out of your trip. Mahalo!